What's up, and welcome to the final layer of the Monster Truck Diecast Iceberg. And clearly, we're all the way down at the bottom. And I'm going to have to discuss that entry that I completely forgot in both of these icebergs. Yes, both. And, well, it's going to pop up. And here it is, Holiday Hauler. And clearly, this truck did have a prototype, but yeah, completely forgot to put this in. And the truck was all-day exclusive during 2012 and stuff, so... And yeah, this is a prototype that you see on screen. Now let's... Warning, there's going to be some sensitive subjects in this video, so... If you don't like to hear about sensitive subjects, you may exit the video or see the timestamps on screen. Now let's talk about one of the more forgotten series, where this is two, basically by two different companies. Well, Racing Champions, they're very well known for making their NASCAR stuff, but yeah, they made monster trucks that no one barely ever talks about, and quite sad. And these were made during the 1990s, I believe, or during 1980s, could be either or. And we're going to talk about another one that is a little bit more obscure. Now let's talk about one of the more forgotten. These were made during the 1980s too, but no one barely ever talks about these. Well, Racing Champions, they're very well known for making their NASCAR stuff, but this is just like the they made monster trucks that no one barely ever talks about. When Monster Truck Diecast was starting to become a thing. But these were made during the 1990s, I believe, or during the 1980s, could be either or. And we're going to talk about another one. Is there any other company back when that got screwed over by Mattel or Matchbox? Where back when, we probably will never know. Also, I made two, so I'm going to have to review on these. Now we're going to be talking about something that many of us Monster Truck Diecast collecting YouTubers probably do know about in this defunct channel. The most well known is Monster Master 81, and he was basically a custom diecast YouTuber and also a collector at the same time. But clearly now I think he's probably doing college, but it's quite sad to know that, this can happen. It probably get A, to do the life stuff, B, to do the college, C, probably don't have enough energy. It could be either anything. It just could be anything, and it's quite weird and quite interesting to know that, defunct channels exist in this community, and it's quite crazy, and we all miss you, Mushroom Action 81. Well, query, this is a prototype, and no one knows which year it came out, and that is quite eerie and stuff. And this one just doesn't have any information on it, and that's why it's so down here. It's quite crazy. We don't know what deck was supposed to be a part of, and we just never know. And it's the biggest mystery ever. Okay, Corey, this is going to be a little bit of a sensitive subject. I'm going to talk about briefly. Well, Shark Creek did appear in the show Last Man Standing. If you know who Tim Allen is, he has far-right politics, and that's why the heck I have to put this sensitivity warning, because you know politics. And speaking of politics, we're going to be talking about that a little bit later. And it's quite weird. For another truck actually got changed on the set of the show. It's very weird, and it's quite hard to find. Quite hard to find the images of this truck online. Also, another one with a little bit difficult to talk about subject matter going on is wrestling trucks that were canceled. Where Hulk Hogan was one of them, and where you know the history of Hulk Hogan, I really don't need to explain it to you, and also his controversies. But clearly Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy, Edge were canceled, where no Brian C. Patton has them in his collection, and that's all I have to say, and we're going to talk about another perspective. Where I know I talked about the American Guardian recall in the previous video, and well, there was one that happened recently, and it was for for the Marvel series of mushroom trucks, and clearly the hammer was, yeah, not sticking up fully in the diecast as it recalled because of choking hazards. Yeah, this is why it's on here, and it's crazy that this still could happen even nowadays. It's a little bit rare. It's rare enough to I have four, but Corino mine doesn't have that problem, so I'm good. One thing, Corey, this is where I start talking about politics again, Sally. But clearly in the custom diecast community, if you just go on eBay for one slight search, and then you'll just start seeing politics related trucks and stuff. Or yeah, you know, and also if you count like the Mr. Beast customs, they're quite controversial too. If you know Imitation of Mr. Beast, especially if yeah, I just don't feel like adding images on here because I feel extremely uncomfortable about it. And yeah, it's a very sad thing for us diecast collectors to deal with sometimes. And also, you know, there's kids too. So back during the 2000s, Boschim made an exclusive truck for JCPenney. This is no rules crew truck, and this is by far the most obscure, rare truck that no one knows. I didn't know the scene existed until I accidentally stumbled upon this online. Back during when there was a start 2025, Spin Master was supposed to be one more truck, and one more Bullock Warrior was a purple one. It was sadly canceled. What a sad end. Back during the light of 2019, well, Master Moses did a custom video, and someone did the big kahuna, and well, it's quite weird to know that this was accidentally predicted a year later, and well, if you, wow, it's very crazy that there's customs that can be accidentally predicted to actually turn into actual diecast, where you know Doomsday was one of them, and now quite recently, Wildside is one of them. Quite crazy that this community can deal with this. Scalping, it's a query you do already read the definition right in front of you, but yeah, this happened in the diecast community, sadly. And recently Mix 41 was one of them, and now we're going to start talking about some very crazy stuff. Dreams. A place where we all escape to, my friend. Well, if you're a diecast collector, sometimes you'll see some trucks appear to dreams that do not exist in real life. Sometimes they can break the laws of physics. One time, when I was at a store, where I'm extremely used to it, I saw a truck that glitched, and there was nothing. I decided to touch it, and, well, our final entry to this iceberg. Trucks that do not exist. Well, there have been some cases where trucks have been planned out by proper brands and stuff, but sometimes they never made it to the drawing board. They just see themselves as text. And it's a very rare occasion when it happens. The most well known was SpongeBob back in 2003 for 2000. We don't know what the truck actually was made, but I already discussed that on my previous Iceberg. So there's that. And well, this is the bottom of the iceberg. We hit a dead end. This is the official end to the Monster Truck Diecast Iceberg. But according to I am said that I am going to do some forgotten entries, but I'm going to have to do that after the World Finals. Because I've been playing on stuff afterwards from that. So if you're new, make sure you like and subscribe, and it helps out a lot. My channel goal is reaching 120, and I'm a little bit trying to increase my video quality and stuff. I know I've checked on my last one, and I completely forgot to decrease the music volume, and I'm really sorry about that, and actually did this time. So yeah, and this was basically, I had the most effort into this video, surprisingly. So, and well, this is Mr. Black Spike 94, and hope you all have a great day.